Hello and welcome to Front Row Heroes with Betfred. Now, at a time when the country is coming together like never before in unprecedented circumstances, Rugby League players, coaches, and officials are amongst the thousands who are joining the fight against COVID-19. In this series, Front Row Heroes, we're on a mission to find out more and celebrate Rugby League's real life heroes. We start off this week with Super League full-time referee Chris Kendall. Chris, firstly, how are you keeping?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Days are going a little bit longer than they probably should be doing at the minute, but no, I'm going all right on the most part. Cheers.
You've been keeping yourself busy. You've been volunteering with the NHS and a few other projects as well. Just talk us through what you're doing at the moment.
Well, mainly at the minute, kind of delivering shopping for neighbours on the most part. The NHS services has been probably a little bit quieter than I thought it was going to be, but I'm doing quite a little bit for my local Kirklees Council. So, like I say, that's probably doing a little bit of shopping for neighbours. I've spoken to a few people on the phone, just trying to give a little bit of normality in their lives, really.
Must be nice to have people happy to see you and not get the abuse that you sometimes get on the weekend.
Yeah, it's weird, kind of the shoes on the other foot. Really, I'm used to being the pantomime villain that we generally have associated with us as referees. But yeah, like you say, it's nice. It's nice to see people smiling at you rather than doing some other things towards you.
And obviously, a bit more time in your hands as we've all got with there being no rugby. But what was it that kind of inspired you and made you decide to get involved with the volunteering?
Oh, I think probably both me and my girlfriend Sarah, we both felt a bit useless. We both furloughed around a similar time. So loads of time on our hands, and kind of when the call came out for some volunteers, I thought that was probably the least we could do. You kind of see some of the hard work that the frontline staff and the key workers are doing. They're putting their lives at risk every day going to work, and we kind of thought, well, it's the least that we can do in these challenging times.
You're one of so many people that we've seen around the country, but particularly in the rugby league community as well, that put their hand up. Do you think that's kind of indicative of the sport to help each other out in tough times?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Rugby league as a product is an amazing product, and it's an amazing sport. But I think probably what makes rugby league is the people that are involved in it. And what I'm doing kind of pales in significance to what other people in the game are doing. You see, like Amy Hardcastle, for example, Women's Super League player, what she's going out every day and doing, and there's probably more and more stories coming out at the minute of players, coaches, chief executives, administrators, what they're doing in the game, and it kind of shows yet again what the rugby league community is like.
It's been obviously well over a month now since the sport was postponed, and we've been in lockdown. Are you finding that getting involved in the volunteering is helping you kind of keep a level head as much as anything else?
Yeah, it probably just helping me tick over a little bit. I'm not one who can kind of sit at home and put my feet up. So generally my days have been kind of training in the morning, taking the dogs out for a walk, and then getting stuck into anything I can in the afternoons then. And then my evenings are very much kind of what you would expect, kind of chilling out, watching a little bit of Netflix and just relaxing, really.
And
I'm enjoying having the time. I'm enjoying having the time, really, to be able to cook and do stuff that generally don't normally get to do.
This is coming in, a time when it's been a pretty good 6-12 months. You obviously grand final referee and then international call-ups over the winter. Just kind of talk us through what the last year's been like on a personal level.
I'd probably associate it with how players are. When players join the game and start playing, their end kind of target is to play Super League or playing grand finals and stuff like that. So it's very much that. It wasn't last year refereeing the grand final then doing the internationals. It wasn't kind of a 10-month project from pre-season starting that year. It was very much a 10-year thing from when I started refereeing. When you get involved, if your target isn't to do those kind of games, you're probably not going to get into the situation to be associated in them games. So it was surreal, really, and kind of didn't really sink in until probably well into the off season what I'd done and the targets that I'd set myself back when I started refereeing properly that I'd achieved those things. It was really a kind of mad few weeks. Really, I refereed the grand final, and then the Wednesday after the grand final, I was on the plane to Australia. Then I did the Nines World Cup, and then international. So it wasn't until I got home, really 4 weeks after the grand final, that it kind of all set in. It really.
And obviously, some disappointing but very much understandable news today that Magic Weekend has been postponed. We hear plenty of what those events are like for players, but just give us some insight as a referee. Is it any different, or is it just another day at the office?
I would, when people ask me about Magic events, I kind of associate with it's probably the closest you're going to get to refereeing a major final without refereeing a major final. You've got everything there. You're in a fantastic stadium. You've got the crowd. You've got the atmosphere. You've got the occasion, and that's probably as close as you're going to get to refereeing probably either the Challenge Cup or the Grand Final without actually doing it. The great events. I've been as a fan. I've been to watch, but being involved in it, not just from a player but as a referee, it is a fantastic event. And if we can fit in at some point at the back end of the season, when it's safe to do so, then that'd be great. But if not, it would be a massive shame.
We've seen plenty from players on social media and on the internet about what they're doing to keep themselves fit and ready mentally as well for when the season does start again. What are you doing to keep yourself sharp?
Doing quite a bit of training with my girlfriend. Like I say, probably our mornings consist of going out and doing some type of running on the field with our dogs, and then coming back and doing some type of strength exercise, probably 4 or 5 times a week. It's difficult. We had such a good pre-season, and as a group of full-time referees, we hit the ground running. And then this whole thing obviously put a stop to that. But it's difficult. It's difficult to kind of simulate, and this will be the same for the players. It's to simulate a referee in a match, just in the training element, but doing quite a lot of shuttles, quite a lot of short distance stuff, trying to simulate that as best we can.
And how much sort of self-assessment do you do? Do you find yourself watching old game footage from your previous matches and stuff like that, or do you try and keep yourself in the moment?
During the season, week to week, our full-time refereeing job is very much assessing everything around the performance, whether that be decisions, movement, communication. That's very much our job. So yeah, a few of the boys I know are looking back at old games, or even looking back even further and looking how some of the older referees might have dealt with situations. That's probably given us a little bit more time to kind of reflect rather than being overly focused on our own performance. But again, it's difficult. It's important to try and stay in the moment as well.
Well, Chris, thank you for joining us, and thanks for all the work that you're doing on the volunteer side of things. Keep it up, and hopefully it won't be too long till we see you back out there on the field.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you very much. Cheers for having me.